we understand this concept of currency and value, one last thing I want to say is the the beauty of investing in cryptocurrency in the modern day with the technology we have is the influence of social media. So
Mhm.
so Jordan has name dropped Twitter, for example. If and we've also discussed one coin that we both believe in the alts market, the alternative to Bitcoin market, which is RSR. If you want to follow one group or one hashtag or one following, what would they be, Jordan, for RSR? Who's the RSR community that's out there that people can learn about the coin?
Absolutely. So there's a big Twitter community that really is trying to educate and inform people on what RSR is. While we have the final seconds here, I'll try to be a quick, summary on what RSR.
Please.
RSR, I found out about the middle of last year. I put Ian on it. I put a lot of people in my network on it, and what it is twofold. Right. I'm gonna go back again. Let's talk about the economics. What are they doing? In countries like Venezuela, Argentina, Colombia, Nigeria, their history is stricken by hyperinflation. And especially in times like this, when we're in COVID or we're in other economic crises, you see this pattern emerge where currency just gets debased and devalued. The government comes out to try to print, they try to solve a problem on a problem, and it just doesn't go right. Currency ends up getting devalued. You're seeing that kind of start to brew in Canada and the US, and we'll get into that in another discussion. But in places like Venezuela, of course, one side of it is it's a communist country, but the other side of it is that the currency gets debased often, and it often destroys wealth. It destroys value. It destroys anything that anyone held in those dollars becomes worthless over time. So what RSR, or the reserve rights team, has come to do is they want to create a stable currency where people from countries with hyperinflation can exit their money to. A decentralized currency where at any moment you have some money in a bank, you can tap in, buy what's called RSV, which is their version of the stable coin, and exit that and be able to then send your money to PayPal, send your money and buy goods and services, send money overseas. A decentralized currency that will allow people to escape hyperinflation. So a very specific use case. But obviously there's tons of countries that are dealing with hyperinflation, right? So again, niche, but do it well. Do something that's going to do that. So RSV is a token that allows people to escape hyperinflation. And it's right now in Venezuela, right? The team just launched their app to allow people to do that in real time. And the reviews and the main net that's going to be launched soon is going insane. People are just like, this is perfect. It's a real time way for me to exit my currency, send money, transmit it permissionless. RSR is a token that stabilizes the RSV. What I mean by stabilization is, a token has a peg, right? RSV is meant to be a stable currency, maybe 1 to 1
Right.
dollar. It'll move with demand and supply. It'll go above one, it'll go below one. And with more demand, it will cause it to go above one more often than not because people want to get in that coin. And what the team will do is an incentive built in the system is to burn RSR. Burn meaning a lot like a stock buyback. You buy back stock, there's less on the open market. That should help your valuation. In this world, they're going to burn tokens over time as an incentive to RSR holders to keep that governance, that system as a nice clean wheel. So the incentive for RSR holders is you hold this token to be part of this project and this vision. And over time, that value of RSR should increase to make this system stable. Okay. I hope I explained that well. So what you're looking at is a coin and a team of people
Mhm.
that are looking to fight a real world problem that is exploding right now. So Venezuela, they're going to move into Argentina, they're going to move into all these countries, which all of us probably can think of our head, oh my God, with what's going on in the world right now, a lot of governments printing to try to combat COVID right now. This is
Yes.
be a real use case. It's something that makes sense, right? And then you go a step deeper. Who is behind RSR? So yeah, the CEO's name is Nevin Freeman. You look at his background; he came from a tech background, and he has the vision to kind of get this right. And I like where he comes from. He's a tech guy, and just comes from a good family. Wants to change this vision. He's had it for, over 2-3 years now. Then you take another step back. Who are the people behind him? Because no one can do anything on their own. You got to really have a team and people that understand the payment networks and international markets. Well,
Yes.
when I took a look at that, and this is one thing in altcoins, guys, when you're looking into alts, you got to look at the team behind them. Who's backing them? And oftentimes you're going to find ones that are successful, alts that have become top 20, top 10 coins over time, are ones that had good marketing team, good management team, a good vision, something that's actually a use case for what's going to help, their ultimate vision. In this case, is to fight hyperinflation. In Bitcoin's case, was to fight central banks and to self-custody your money against debasement of currency. That's why you're seeing Bitcoin fly now. We look at the RSR team of investors. You got Peter Thiel, who is a visionary. He was in Bitcoin in 2013.
Peter Thiel.
First investor in Facebook. He is in almost every, he's in Compass Pathways, which is a psychedelic company in the States, who's looking to combat antidepressants. So you look at his plays and his playbook. First of all, he doesn't lose. And his original kind of thing that made his fame was starting PayPal. And the team behind PayPal must be one of the guys, Peter Thiel, and there's a whole team of what they call the PayPal Mafia. Well, what if I told you that 60% of the PayPal original founders are behind Reserve? When they did their first interview with Reserve to understand what their project was, the team behind PayPal actually said, this is what we wanted to do when we started PayPal. So we get it. So you got them on board, and they're influential, they're wealthy, they're people that wanted to see this vision before, and they found a way to do it. So they've latched on and are investors. So that already makes me feel bullish. Then we look on the side. Coinbase is an investor. Coinbase being one of the biggest exchanges in the world. They're behind the team. They love the token economics. They love the vision. Sam Altman, who is the CEO of Y Combinator, they're a VC out of San Francisco. They've invested in some of the earliest names: Stripe, Facebook, Airbnb, all the big disruptors that we see, the Uber. They're behind them. And then we got advisors that are people that have been on the Securities and Exchange Commission. So regulators, people who really understand the regulatory space, they're advisors to Reserve. So they're just stacked with the right team to make this vision come true. And they're humble. They're making a real world project where people today, I just saw a headline. I mean, Reserve's at almost back at all-time highs. I'm not sure any of you, this might be your first time you're seeing, look up the token RSR. We're almost back to all-time highs. The crypto market's been doing a lot of this, and you're going to see that volatility. But again, valuable names and names that are, doing things like we're talking about, have real world applications. You're going to see it trend up over time. And I've made this bold call. Ian knows it. And for all the viewers watching here, I believe that RSR will be a top 10 token in 1 to 2 years. And I think for building yourself, doesn't matter where you come from, if you're wealthy, not wealthy, it doesn't matter. This is an inclusive space for everyone. And you want to look to be behind projects that make sense, so that when you're looking down the road, if you are putting your money to work in, it's going to build some sort of generational wealth for you and your family and your future offspring. This is a token to really consider. Again, do your research. You're watching this video, so you're in the right place. But this is something to look into because they're doing something big. They have a team behind them that has a wealth of experience in payment rails and transferring money globally, and they have crypto experts as well, Coinbase, Y Combinator, people that are also in the crypto space. So it doesn't look like a system, unless they really mess up, that can lose. And I'm super bullish on it. And I like what they're doing. They're fighting hyperinflation, helping people that need to escape their devalued currencies and maintain their wealth. People like you and I that, we could talk about Canada right now, a lot of the devaluation that's been happening there in the Canadian dollar, but think of that on a scale of 100 in Venezuela, where you could own a house and the currency's gone to zero, that house is worthless. So it's like you haven't really gained wealth, right? So it's really trying to prove a real world solution. And that is number one. What is the use case? Then becomes the CEO, the team behind them, the investors, and the vision. And if they execute, this is going to be really what I think. I know probably a lot of you have heard of this coin called Ripple. They kind of came out a few years ago. They've been around for a while and said they want to do something similar, not fight hyperinflation, but like just have a currency that you can move freely with low fees. Again, too centralized, too They were a team that I think just got too centralized. They control too much of that pie.
Mm-hmm.
And with RSR and our RSV, the interchangeable tokens that of what I talked about, their the attempt is to make it decentralized. Their way is to have this token that no one can control, people can exit and get out of, transmit it globally, be inclusive of and again, RSR being for the incentive, the people that are holding this to make this network secure. That's all crypto is about: inclusion, self-custody, wealth building, and trying to make change for the better. And I think this is a team that can achieve it. So I went over time here, but I think that's good for all the viewers to understand and take a deep look into as we continue to delve into space. And trust me, guys, I know you might look at the token and say, oh, it's gone from a cent to 7 cents, and be like, have I missed the boat? But it's really early. This isn't a late time to cycle. This is equivalent, in my opinion, of 2017 in March. We have a long bull run ahead of us for the year. Sure, are there going to be ups and downs? Is next year going to prove to be a more challenging year for crypto? There's lots of things and uncertainty that's going to happen, but you want to, again, put your money in places you believe in and things that are new and innovative. And I think this is one of those ones you should consider.
On that note, I think this is a perfect opportunity to thank our viewers for listening in. We hope that you've enjoyed this part series, episode 1, and we're going to take it into the next future with, as we've discussed, just bringing you through the investing, the analyzing, the researching methodologies, understanding token economics, explaining these nice little phrases that have emerged in the crypto space, like hodl, hold on for dear life, these mantras that people hold their, they, as much as you see a dip, you hold on. If you know what your exit point is, if you believe a token is going to go to 1 cent to 87 and it's at 46, hodl, hold on for dear life. So we'll continue with this episodic series, and thanks for viewing.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.